kind of catapulted back into the workforce. Now, many of us who are practicing dentistry, we were forced to take time off. We were one of the professions that was had to come to a grinding halt. And now, as we're getting back into work, it's really interesting. I speak to many dentists, and everyone's approaching it a little bit differently. Some of my colleagues are taking their time getting back into work. They're not really in a huge rush, and they're trying to slowly kind of get their pace up again. And then I have other colleagues who, even before we got the okay to go back, have been going at a mile a minute. And so it's been interesting to see them, even though the practices are financially the same, it's interesting to see how some people have gone back, full force, and if not harder than they were going before. And so one of my concerns as, looking out and being concerned about the mental well-being of colleagues and friends, I wonder how this going back with a vengeance is going to play out, and how we can kind of calibrate ourselves. Many of us during the quarantine had an opportunity to reflect on what was important to us and what we wanted to continue to change and do in our lives. And in Saturday's Globe, you're not alone if you were contemplating your life. And so this is an interesting study. I'm just going to read a part of it. It says, Canadians are 2.5 times more likely to think that the impact on them personally will be positive because of a greater appreciation for life and the important things in their life. Now, I personally had this experience where I started to reflect on friends, life, how I want to work, and what the pace is, materialism, having things, what do I want, what do I not want. And if you did or didn't, no judgment. It's just, if you did, you're not alone. And one of those things that many of us as dentists had to question is, how do we get back into practice? Of course, we all want to practice, but there was that big question. What I urge is that now that we're back in practice, we really have to be careful to take those few moments out to think about the things that we were pondering during the pandemic. And so we have to give ourselves the opportunity not to get back into the same way it was. Now, I know dentistry has changed a lot since, a few weeks ago, but the essence of the way we work is the same. Some of us are fast and furious, and some of us are slow and steady. Now, I want you to see which group you're in. And it's not that one is better than the other, but it's a reflection on, how does that feel for you? If you're slow and steady and you like that and it works for you, great. And if you're fast and furious and you think that that's just destructive to you and the people around you, well, then it's time to question that when you can. Something I've noticed, and I noticed in my generation as well of dentists, is the tortoise and the hare analogy. Some older practitioners, I don't say older, some more seasoned practitioners used to go into dentistry for a profession, a lifelong career that started like the COVID curve. It started slow, peaked, and then slowly kind of tapered. And people looked at dentistry as a lifelong profession. What I'm seeing and hearing, and I've been practicing for 18 years, what I'm seeing and hearing is that people it's almost like they can't wait to retire. So many colleagues and friends that I speak to just can't wait until they're done their profession of dentistry. And I wonder if we're coming out of dentistry with a different vision than our colleagues who are more seasoned and experienced than us used to. We're kind of coming out with a vengeance, like the hare, running, building, growing, achieving, succeeding, and it almost like there's a carrot ahead of us and we're just running to catch it. And I wonder if that's what's leading to burnout or mental health issues or anxiety and stress, where we're putting so much pressure on ourselves to achieve so much in so little time, rather than having that longer vision and seeing ourselves practicing for a longer time and slow and steady. And if you build it, they come. And so this time of COVID, once we're coming out of it, if you have that fast and furious feel, well, it's going to play itself out. And no matter how busy you're going to be in your head and running and trying to do your practice, it's going to play its way, it's going to run its course. And so why not try and just take it down a couple of notches for those of us who are fast and furious, and really remember the things that we contemplated during COVID, and to try and bring a little bit of a parasympathetic nervous system on board, taking it just a little bit easy, giving yourself permission to look at colleagues who might be doing this way different than us. It doesn't mean that they're not going to succeed. It just means that they're going to have a different approach. And so exposing ourselves to different people allows us to see that not all of us do it the same way, and we might be able to learn things from colleagues who might have a different angle on the way we should be going back to dentistry. So I will leave that for you to ponder, and I'm happy to hear from you at any point at sally@mindfuldentist.ca or on my website at mindfuldentist.ca. Take care.